The myth of changing others. Why relational intelligence starts with capacity and the power of one. People are so eager to change others that they forget to ask a critical question. Does the other person even want to change? We see this often with those who are more anxiously attached. They spend their energy trying to get their needs met by the other person, not realizing a huge chunk of those needs could be met by them individually. This is the actual work of the anxiously attached, to earn a secure attachment. Yes, you can earn a secure attachment, and I know you might not like the sound of having to earn it. Yet we discuss this topic in depth with the author of Anxiously Attached, Jessica Baum, on the Blueprint podcast. Beyond the desire to get your needs met through the other person, have you observed if they have the capacity for the level of change you expect from them? We often fall into the trap of thinking, if they wanted to, they would. It's a common assumption that people think, act, and feel the same way you do. That isn't the case. It's an unhelpful assumption that lacks curiosity for the other person's inner world and ignores the relational dynamics that shape who they are today. That relational blindness is exactly what leads to frustration for so many. We get stuck in a cycle of frustration because we see a problem that needs to be fixed. We wonder, why don't they see the mess or breakdown in the same way we do? This is where we lose our power, by wanting the other person to understand our inner world as if they have the ability to read our minds. Enter Sonder. Sonder is the realization that every individual you see has a life as full and real as your own, one where they are the central character and you are a secondary role. This word is a powerful explanation for the human experience. It shifts you into the role of the observer. It allows you to see people for who they really are rather than the potential you're constantly fighting to extract from them. The potential you see in someone else may or may not come to fruition. You might admire a starving artist for their uniqueness, only to feel the weight of the reality when your own desires for stability no longer align with that lifestyle. Then you find yourself trying to change the very person you said that you loved. When you think so far into the future, you never really see the whole person standing right in front of you because you aren't present. Your time is spent anticipating what's going to happen next, and you forget to enjoy the moment, which is exactly where peace, love, happiness, and making memories happens. This is why you hear me say so often in my Take a Walk With Me videos, if you desire a particular relationship, then you must have a shared mission, vision, and clear communication of needs. If not, you'll find yourself feeling lost, wondering if you even know who you are anymore. The grief of letting go. When you finally stop trying to change the other person, a vacuum is created. That space between you is going to grow larger and larger as you begin to place the necessary focus back on you. This is where you begin to make yourself a priority again, or for the first time. For the anxiously attached, fixing is a survival strategy. It's how you try to guarantee safety and security in a relationship when neither of those things are even present. We often gravitate to what's familiar because that feels normal. Yet you have to remember that is your normal and not someone else's. You don't realize this until you stop, zoom out, step back, and begin to evaluate the problems, situations, and circumstances you've experienced through the lens of earned wisdom. This is where you begin to see people as they are, including yourself, instead of how you wish they would be. When you stop policing the patterns and start observing their actual capacity, you might have to face a hard truth. The person in front of you may not be able to meet your needs. That doesn't mean that you get rid of them. I'm so tired of online advice telling you to cut everyone off. The reality is, this is where you build tolerance, patience, capacity, and stretch your nervous system as you begin to have more complicated and complex conversations with the people closest to you. In this space, you begin to recognize the capacity of others, and you step into love as a choice. Because it is. It starts with a feeling and then develops into something much greater that requires a conscious choice for the rest of your life. No, I'm not condoning poor relationship behaviors, but I am asking the question, can you love them as they are today if they never change? This goes for mom, dad, brother, sister, significant other, and anyone else who is important in your life. Sometimes you just have to shuffle your prioritization of those relationships to maintain connection and your sanity. This is the sobering part of Sonder. It moves you out of the fantasy of their potential and into the reality of their mechanics. Relational intelligence isn't just about understanding others. It's about having the courage to grieve the version of the person you created in your head so you can finally deal with the person standing right in front of you. Only then can you decide with a clear head and a secure heart if your mission and vision truly align. This decision is only possible when you accept that change always starts by the one, meaning change starts with you. It sounds counterintuitive at first. It feels like if they fix their behavior, your life would be better. However, the truth is that every ounce of energy you spend trying to manage the other person is an ounce of energy you've stolen from your own growth. So much time is lost in the experience of an anxious heart and mind. You spend so much time trying to find yourself inside of someone else, not realizing what you needed was inside of you all along. When you turn the spotlight back on yourself, you move away from the survival state of trying to control the world and into a state of creation, flow, and connection. You begin to have more honest conversations with yourself about what you're willing to tolerate and how you integrate yourself into relationships with others. You realize that the relationship you have with yourself is the longest running relationship you'll ever have. So why not make it a good one? This isn't about taking the blame for the relationship problems. It's about reclaiming the authority to solve your own while cleaning up your side of the street. Knowing that you did everything you could is not only satisfying, but often gives you the closure you desperately seek from others. This is how we get to the old saying, be the change you wish to see in the world. You stop trying to navigate through their resistance, you stop trying to control the outcomes, and you begin the work of mastering your own inner world, which leads to emotional freedom. This is the path to relational intelligence. Thank you for listening.